It was November 22nd, 1963, a day that changed America forever. In Dealey Plaza, Dallas, President John F. Kennedy was shot while riding in his motorcade. The nation was left in shock. The investigation seemed quick. The answer too neat. A lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald. But was that the whole story? Why has this event kept us asking questions for decades? For years, the truth seemed locked away, shrouded in secrecy. But in the past 30 years, documents have been released. Little by little, piece by piece, the truth has been coming out. Every release, from the 90s to the most recent files in 2023, has brought new insights, some shocking, some puzzling. Today, we're going to walk through the timeline of these declassified files and uncover what they really tell us about JFK's assassination. This is not just a story about the past. It's about how history, secrets, and power come together in unexpected ways. The 1990s. This is when things started to get serious. The 90s saw a major push for the truth. After the 1991 release of Oliver Stone's JFK, public demand for the government to reveal everything intensified. People were starting to question the official narrative. Was Oswald really the lone gunman? Was there something more to the story? In 1992, in response to growing public pressure, Congress passed the JFK Records Collection Act. This was a big deal. The law promised that all files related to Kennedy's assassination would be made public within 25 years. For the first time, there was a legal obligation to open the floodgates. In the mid-90s, the Assassination Records Review Board, ARRB, got to work. They started sifting through mountains of government documents, from FBI reports to CIA memos to autopsy files. The result? Millions of pages were released to the public. But here's the twist. Even after these files came out, questions remained. There were still gaps, mysterious gaps. Some files were delayed or held back under national security exceptions. We learned a lot, but we still didn't have the full picture. Now, fast forward to 2017. The 25-year deadline has arrived, and all remaining files are supposed to be declassified. But when President Donald Trump promised full disclosure, the world held its breath. Would the truth finally come out? On October 26, 2017, thousands of documents were released, but not all of them. The files poured out in a flood, but at the last minute, the CIA and FBI intervened, asking for certain documents to remain redacted. Some files were released with blacked-out sections, and the government was given more time to review them. Still, what was revealed was mind-blowing. We learned that Oswald wasn't some random guy. He had been on the radar of U.S. intelligence agencies for years, monitored by both the CIA and the FBI. He was no stranger to the system. Documents even revealed that Oswald had been in contact with Soviet officials before the assassination, raising the possibility of foreign connections. And while there were no bombshells that confirmed a conspiracy, the files revealed details that painted a much richer picture of the political climate. One of the most chilling moments came from a memo from J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI. Just days after Kennedy's assassination, Hoover wrote, "The thing I'm concerned about is having something issued so we can convince the public that Oswald is the real assassin." That's right. This memo showed the FBI was actively concerned about controlling the narrative. They wanted the public to believe Oswald acted alone, even as the investigation was still in its early stages. But just when we thought everything would be revealed, 2021 came, and once again, the files weren't fully released. The Biden administration delayed the final disclosure, citing security concerns. Many expected this delay to be the last. After all, the files had been under review for decades. By December 2022, more documents were finally released. But even then, not everything was out in the open. Some records remained partially redacted, leaving us with the lingering question: what could be so important that it needed to be kept secret even after all this time? The final batch of files showed that the CIA's role in the Cold War was far more extensive than we knew. The documents confirmed CIA plots to kill Fidel Castro, and the extent to which the U.S. government was tangled up in covert operations during the 60s. One of the most intriguing revelations came from documents showing how Soviet officials were worried about the assassination. They feared that the murder could trigger a military response. Some Soviet officials believed the U.S. was on the verge of war, thinking the assassination might have been part of a larger plot by right-wing elements within the U.S. government. And finally, in 2023, after years of delays, the remaining files were released. The big question remained: would anything in these files change the story? What we found was both expected and unexpected. There were no new smoking guns or revelations that completely upended the lone gunman theory. Oswald was still the primary suspect, but the files confirmed the U.S. government's deep involvement in covert actions during the Cold War, and how these events could have influenced how the assassination played out. One of the most interesting things we learned from the 2023 files was the CIA's surveillance of Oswald before the assassination. This wasn't just a simple case of tracking a lone man. He was connected to several significant players and events, but for reasons that have never fully been explained, he was never fully stopped. Thanks for taking this journey through the newly released JFK files with us. What do you think? Have the declassified records finally solved the mystery, or are there still pieces of the puzzle missing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. Until next time, keep searching for the truth.